Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for our third matchup of the evening. It's going to be Counter Logic Gaming versus Method. And again, my name's Mega Man, bringing you the action. Alongside me is Moses, the man, the myth, the legend, with the beautiful bald head. How you feeling, my man?
Good. This is going to be another interesting matchup because Method's another team that, like so many of these like lower tier, middle tier teams in Pro League in North America, like Method always shows some good results and then, you know, they kind of drop off a bit and they're very inconsistent. They can play up at times and other times they just kind of fall flat. But they have shown some good stuff and they have some talented players. But CLG is like that team that's just been knocking on the door, you know, always kind of considered, you know, second fiddle in North America behind Cloud9. So this is going to be a really tough test for them.
Yeah, they've been so close on so many occasions of, you know, just on that cusp of greatness. I mean, we've seen huge things come out of CLG in the past. I mean, obviously one of the most noted ones would be their huge upset on Mirage against the likes of Fnatic. I mean, these are times where we've seen CLG shine and be dominant, and then they've also had, you know, their darker side, their times where they're getting upset by some of these teams that, you know, as your number two, trying to solidify yourself as the best team in North America, these teams that you should not be losing to under any circumstances.
Yeah, well, I mean, the tough part for CLG too is so long, like all year long, basically, they've been, you know, that number two team in North America. Now that Liquid's finally putting it together, they're like in danger of losing that spot. I mean, you know, even that's not knock on CLG at all, because even Cloud9, it almost feels like is at risk of losing their, you know, their banner as the number one team, the Liquid, with the way they're playing. We'll just have to see how these teams do, you know, not only at the major but the upcoming iBuyPower tournament, which is going to be all North American teams. So yeah, it's just, this is a team that, you're right, CLG definitely shouldn't lose to them, but they have dropped the ball in the past, so it's like you can't just give it to CLG.
No, not at all. But it really makes things very interesting as far as the top echelon of North American CS is concerned. I mean, you've got Cloud9, you've got Luminosity that's up in the mix as well as far as the skill cap goes. You've got, you know, your Liquid, your CLG. You've got these teams that are, I might have said CLG twice, but Cloud9, Luminosity, Liquid, and CLG are all right there in the running against each other. And it's just a matter of seeing which one's going to come out as the front runner, which one is going to step it up, which one's going to put it all together and be able to dominate throughout the remainder of the season. And really, right now, it's anybody's ball game because, you know, Cloud9, after that, you know, that month of amazing tournament showings, they've kind of gone a little bit quiet. You know, a lot of these tournaments that they've entered into. I mean, look at the last tournament that they just played when they went over to Australia. They kind of had a pretty lackluster performance there, kind of disappointing for a lot of the North American fans.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just kind of waiting for CLG. I mean, they've been, you know, I thought at a point that they had hit like a plateau that they could just never improve over. And then that was like right before the most recent SIBO LAN. And then they switched at that event. FNS couldn't make it, and they let Cutler call for him. And then when they came back, you know, Cutler kept the reins of calling for CLG, and they hit like this new level. And now they've gotten to the point, you know, they lost to NIP at the last major, like 16-13. They lost to Navi 16-13. I mean, they've put up these really good fights against teams when normally, you know, you see them either just win a best of one here or there. They've tried to kind of reach this new level where they can compete, but they just can't pull out these wins. So now I'm just hoping and praying that this isn't just another plateau that I'm going to feel like they hit. I want to see them get over that hump. And I mean, the thing that puts you most confident in their ability to do that is when they start being able to dominate the regional, you know, the regional competition. You know, teams like Fnatic, teams like Navi, teams like, you know, TSM. These are teams that, you know, beat up on the teams that they should beat. They don't even let them get close. So, right. I mean, I want to see CLG kind of start to get to that level.
Yeah, and I'd like to see that as well. And it's like you said, you know, they get to a plateau, and then something small, not even something major, changes. And the big factor for me that's contributed to a lot of their success in the past couple of events that they've gone to is JDM. He has been stepping up in an absolutely monstrous way in the last couple of events. His AWP work has been outstanding, you know, and he's really kind of been an anchor for them, opening up bomb sites on the terrorist side with the AWP, you know, also just locking things down on the defense. We've seen him play extremely strong on maps like Overpass, which is not one of North America's stronger maps that they play on. Really, the North American powerhouse as far as Overpass would be concerned would probably be Liquid right now.
Yeah, Liquid's Overpass is really strong. Very, very strong. But you're right. You're right about JD. The real person they need to step up at these international events is Tarek. I think he's the one who's kind of been hailed as this young up and coming superstar, and he just doesn't reach that pinnacle nearly enough. And I think for them to get to that next step is going to be if he can kind of improve as a player, as the star of this team. I mean, there's no doubt he is the star of this team. I mean, JDM with the op has been fantastic, but I mean, Tarek's kind of the one who needs to be consistently doing some damage. And I see a lot of similarities, and it kind of scares me, between him and Nothing, and that they have this super high peak and they just don't reach it often enough. But they reach it just enough to where it keeps your hope alive. But they don't hit it often enough to like be able to rely on it. So that's kind of where I see CLG at, is if Tarek at this next major, if he can have a good event, he can dominate stretches of matches for his squad, if he can be successful in opening up opportunities for the rest of his teammates. I mean, he's the biggest playmaker they've got, so he's got to go big.
Right, consistency being one of the key words. And now let's switch over and talk about the Method side a little bit too.
I was just going to say, we didn't mention this at all. Davey is standing in for Method. He's a 3-sub player, but tonight he is going to be standing in for him. So that's the big interesting switch that we see on the Method lineup.
Yeah, and that's one of the things, you know, that's 3-sub, they've found a lot of success, and it's come on the back of Davey. So I'm interested to see how he melds, how he meshes with this Method lineup, at least on tonight, and see if they can step things up and do a sensational job and maybe steal one away here from the CLG squad. But now it comes down to this 1v1 and knife round, and just like we were talking about, Tarek and Davey going to be facing off here.
Yeah, that actually scares me a little bit for CLG, because with him just standing in, I mean, he probably hasn't practiced with these guys. And he's just going to be playing some freewheeling Counter-Strike, just going with the flow and, you know, making things happen. The rest of the team is going to play loose, knowing they're playing with the ringer. So that's kind of scary for CLG. Is, you know, we always see that honeymoon period, or it's because players, you know, just play by instinct. They play loose. They're not trying to fit into the system that their team is forming. So, I mean, this kind of a stand-in could provide some freedom for Davey, for him to make huge plays, because he's got a lot of talent. And if he just explodes, CLG could be in for a tough night in a close match.
Absolutely. So we do see CLG picking the CT side. Tarek was able to get the third round, the third frag for the round, and the knife round, and they do get to opt for their choice, and that's going to be the CT side. So Tarek, JDM, Cutler, Hayes, FNS facing off against Justin, Ellie, Toy, Davey, and Silent. And it's going to be very interesting to see this op-on-op battle, because we've seen Silent with the AWP blow up in some of these matches as well. How is he going to fare playing against a player like JDM, who's a very mobile AWP, or a very solid opper? And there's a great nade to start things off, and that actually came out of the hands of JDM. Hayes is going to one-tap away one. JDM's going to be there as well. He does have backup. Look at how many CTs are over here. There's 4 in the B-bomb site.
Yeah, I mean, you could just kind of see that round was just over for Method before it even began. I mean, that's a tough call to make. The current meta on CT pistols on this map is to have, you know, the B bomb site stack, play retake over at A, and CLG did it in a massive fashion. They had 3 to 4 players there. They heard footsteps early, and the 5th player was actually over by connector by the time that execution came in. So that's how you see so many CLG players. They're just able to mow them all down. And if FNS is to get this, that'll be a team ace.
Well, he's sitting in checkers right now, and there's the peek out from Cutler. See if FNS is going to be able to find this, but Silent just... I mean, he's got a fair amount of time, 35 seconds to work in, but the bomb has been dropped, flashbang to the face, and there's the peek from Cutler, but now it's going to be FNS over here in this area, too. He could manage to get it. Nope, Hayes going to tap him away, and that will be CLG. They were not really in too terribly much danger of losing that round after that initial push came in from the Method side. So 1-0 in favor of CLG, and you can see they're going to go for a pretty heavy buy, and this is something that we didn't see out of Luminosity, and it actually paid off really well for LG on Mirage, because they got so much money ramped up early that they never had to save once in their first half.
Yeah, it looks like Method, you know, without even getting a bomb plant, they're not even going to invest in the pistols, not try and do any damage whatsoever. This gives a great opportunity for Hayes and FNS, you know, with these weapons that provide money bonuses, to just build up the bank a little bit, and FNS looks like he can be the beneficiary. He's over towards the A bomb site where all of Method is streaming over to. No smokes for him, though. They only have 1 flashbang, and there's Davey with a nice one-tap in mid. Brings down Cutler.
Beautiful shot from Davey, boosted up on Heaven. Here's a push out. FNS, he's going to only get 1 out of this exchange, but he does have a teammate there that's going to be JDM with the FAMAS. Going to be able to find 1. Nades over high. Davey going to get chipped down to 20 HP, but it's a 3-on-3 retake. But look at this. They still have a nade of smoke and 3 flashes on the CLG side. JDM's not even going to wait for that nade to come out. He's just going to eliminate Davey. And now Toy, he's stuck at default, and they've got one at quad, so a really tough position for them to be in, and they're just going to push on in. And JDM, taking matters into his own hands this round, picks up the quad and really kind of saves the day there for CLG. But that bomb plant, not a bad eco round for Method.
No, it's actually huge. I mean, that one deal shot from Davey takes out Cutler, and it forces the rotation. Immediately, you could see FNS with the SMG rotates out of quad and over towards the right side of the bomb site, where he's able to get swarmed. So it shifts the defense immediately, and that's when Method decides to pounce on that site. So good timing on that hit. And with that bomb plant, I mean, we didn't see one in the first round, but with it in the second round, without much of an investment, you're going to see a force buy here on the third round, or not even a force buy, it's a full buy. I mean, 4 AK-47s, Galil, they have good amounts of smokes and Molotovs and flashbangs as well, so Method looking good into this round. But JDM's already got the AWP, and that's the scary thing.
Yeah, he's actually over at that A bomb site playing solo dolo, so we'll see if he comes under fire there. But this is going to be FNS playing aggressively in mid. He does have a teammate over there by the cat box as well, but really, he's going to fall on back, but the flashes come out. Huge amount of flashes out middle, and that's going to be mid-control now for Method. Color taking a peek, but he's going to get chipped down to half health. So not a bad little execution there to get mid-control for the terrorist side of Method. Now what can they do with it is the real question. Where are they going to opt to go? They've got 3 players pushed out mid, 1 in Sunroom, 1 in A main. So they've got options here. They're kind of spread out, and they can really kind of weigh the odds here.
Yeah, and you got to imagine Tarek and Hayes over at this B bomb site are feeling a little bit scary. And nice shot once again onto Color. He gets picked off. Justin drops him. So it's just JDM over in A. FNS still smoked out in mid. He can't grab any info. He's going to swing wide. He spots one. He falls back immediately, but very, very patient. Method has taken mid control, and they're just slowly strangling the life out of this defense. And now a mid B split comes in. Tarek's caught in the open. Hayes grabs one. He's got to do a lot more. Flashbang comes out. He swings. He's got a couple blind players, but he can't find the kill. And he's just trying to delay for time, but Davey's not going to let him do it. Jumps over the boxes, gets that kill. 4-on-2 situation for Method.
Yeah, this should be Method's round right here, and this is a huge one to win. FNS is going to find the lurker over in Silent there by the vents. Molotov to the backside of the site as well is going to flush Ellie out, but that's not going to be too big of a deal as FNS barrels on out. Ellie's just got to watch his backside, and Justin's going to be there in that angle as well. Davey just pushing in towards CT spawn. He's got double on the round. FNS is going to find one, but Ellie's going to be there for the trade. He's going to be able to pick up a rifle as well, and Davey's salvaging the AWP for Silent. So that's a big 47.50 that they're not going to have to spend this round, especially with Silent only being on $3,200.
Yeah, that's a big win for Method. So immediately after one round win, they do force an eco out of CLG. And there is money on JDM. He's got 4,200, but they save one. The rest of his teammates will be able to pick up some rifles, have stronger buys. He'll be able to put another op back into his hands, and that'll be big. But a good round from Method. That plant, I mean, it's all down to that plant on the second round, comes up huge. So you see Tarek here with a taser, and where's he going to be? He's close over at this B bomb site, but playing very, very far back is the one member spotting for it. That's going to be Davey.
Oh, and Davey getting that crack in the smoke. He's going to find Hayes as well. And you can tell Method kind of went into farm mode this round. They picked up 2 SMGs as well to work with. And now Silent, he's going to come under fire here in A main. He's got to really be careful. FNS right around the corner, but he wide peeks, takes him down, and Justin's going to find a nice frag as well. Davey with a second MAC-10 as Tarek had to turn to find that player in checkers, but nice execution onto the B bomb site, not losing any players, not taking any damage at all this round whatsoever. I mean, it's a clean round. Beautiful job there. Silent not getting the money that he was really hoping for, but the 2 players with the SMGs clean up 3 of the 5 frags, and that's going to put some money in the bank. You can see Davey at 67.50 this round.
Yeah, that's going to be a double save out of CLG. So this early on, they just want to stabilize the economy. They don't want to get caught into a cycle of force buying where they don't really have anything strong to work off of. So just pistols across the board. They have some utility, though, and FNS even picks up a kit just in case it may come in handy. No reason not to invest. So this is a good start for Method, looking to get up towards 3 rounds. Justin and Davey still keeping those SMGs, but Tarek finds the initial kill on a toy. Ellie trades him out. It's a fast B play for Method. They're already in the bomb site. CLG can't stop them.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot that they're going to be able to do. That nade up to heaven does 43 damage. A return nade as well down to 18 is going to be hazed. And now they're just going to probably set up for some exit kills here. Davey's got to watch out, but Silent is there for his backside. And not a whole lot that CLG can do in this situation. And just something to note, Davey is already 6-2, so as a stand-in, he's doubled up on frags. Actually, he's going to find another one, and if he pushes that smoke in CT, he might be able to execute one more, but there it is. Hayes finds one. Davey again with the MAC-10. And he's going to come around the side. Can he get the frag? No, he's going to have to switch over to the pistol. And he loses his life. So, costly round there for Method. But again, a little bit of SMG farming from Davey. That's going to still put him in a pretty good money situation fiscally.
Yeah, great round for CLG. FNS even gets away with the AK-47. I thought there might be an opportunity because he was the one with the kit, but that bomb plant position was for Silent over towards Checkers and over towards that mid choke point outside B, so no chance for him to really even try and ninja if he wanted to. So good round from CLG despite losing it. Now you can see they have that AK-47 on FNS. The rest of them have the M4s. JDM with the AWP, full buys. They've got 4 Molotovs, all 5 with smoke, so this is going to be a good defense for CLG to mount.
Yeah, they're going to have to come up big here. You can see Cutler getting very aggressive in middle. Again, he's going to be playing very close up. He's going to hear a lot of those footsteps going over towards that A-bomb site as well. Playing in the little cubby. They've got one over by Sandbags as well. It's going to be Hayes trying to spot out for Silence Peak with that AWP. And they've also got FNS in mid. So very, very heavy on the mid presence from the CLG side, playing solo Tarek at the B-bomb site and solo JDM and A. But JDM, he's going to come under fire here. He's got to be really careful. The smokes come in. He's got an angle onto that bomb site. And Toy, oh, he misses the shot, though. Toy is going to be able to get over towards Quad. Davey finds a headshot on Hayes. He's just playing like it's a pug right now. He's just pushing in. Davey with the triple now. And Justin finally going to meet his demise in the hands of FNS on the flank, but Davey going monstrous this round, and he has just been dominating so far in this matchup. We're only 6 rounds in, and he's got 11 kills.
Yeah, I'm just telling you, that's the Davey who's just coming in playing free. He doesn't have any role that he needs to define. They're not going to stop him from playing how he wants, just their first match together. So Davey just going nuts there, being aggressive, hyper-aggressive. Eliminates that defense. It all comes down to that first shot that JDM missed. If he's able to get that kill, I mean, Davey can't make that play, but because they had so many players survive and swing into the bomb set, he was allowed to be aggressive. So they get the wide angle, and from there, JDM's just trapped. A good round from Davey there. Overall, a good round from Method.
Yeah, and this is scary because Method, they look very poised on their terrorist side. These clean takes into these bomb sites, and CLG getting caught flat-footed. They had the mid-presence to have fast rotations over towards that B-bomb site, but one smoke over towards truck side kind of staves that off. And again, like you capitalized on, JDM missing that off shot on the Toy gave them a positional advantage on the terrorist side over by Quad and allowed Davey to just jump up on top of Red Box and pick off heads. And he did it with great proficiency.
Yeah, now another eco round out of CLG. They do have 2 members with M4s. So they're going to try and have them initiate the attack. And actually, it's Tarek pushing up. He dinks down Davey, but with the MAC-10, Davey's able to just mow him down to 14 HP. Meanwhile, the stack is over at this A bomb site. So the B side is clear, but Method doesn't know that quite yet. FNS with this M4 is going to have an opportunity to do some damage, but all of his teammates are falling. There goes Hayes. There goes Cutler. Nice work from Method. Very methodical.
There you go. Nice play on words from Moses. FNS pushing into A. Manny really didn't have much choice but to take that fight. They went for the double-man stack in the A bomb site, and Silent playing on top of Catbox was able to just spot the top of that player's head and take him down. So both of the remaining CTs are going to be stuck over here in A as that bomb infiltrates that B bomb site. So really difficult spot for CLG to be in. They're down what's soon to be 2-5, and they haven't really showed me much here on these gun rounds. Now, granted, this was like a predominant eco round out of them, but I mean, they had 2 rifles to work with, and they just got picked apart.
Yeah, and that's kind of the thing with those. When you only have 2 rifles, it's kind of hard. You want them to be the first point of contact to give yourself a chance of getting that initial kill, of being able to salvage weapons for your pistols. But it's sometimes very hard on the CT side to predict where that aggression is going to come from the terrorists. So they're going to have to try and save these out. They smoke off this, and JDM gets into a fight. He wins that against Toy, so he's going to get away with the M4. So is FNS. That's a nice round, or a nice ending to a lost round for CLG, I should say.
Yeah, but look at the economy here on the terrorist side. 12,000 for Ellie at the start of the round, over 10K for Davey and Silent. And Davey, 12-3, but again, he's reading these plays really, really well so far. I mean, dropping the AK over to a fallen comrade and picking up the MAC-10 for that anti-eco round, and ends up getting a kill out of it. $600, survives as well. Even though he had a MAC-10 for the rebuy, it doesn't really matter too much because he's not doing too much of a detriment to his economy. He's still sitting up around $10,000, $8,900 for him.
Well, I mean, CLG's kind of known for being aggressive on this map as CT. It seems at times they almost want to play 2 terrorist tabs on this. They like to push up those B very, very frequently, even on gun rounds. We haven't seen that quite yet, so I'm waiting for them to bust it out. But on their eco rounds, I mean, Davey's just camping, and he's gotten a couple free kills that way. So now we have Silent from Method. He's boosted up. in middle. He hasn't peeked mid yet. He's just watching for any kind of a flank. It's going to be a delayed take on mid. He's got to be careful. There's Cutler directly under him. Cutler takes out Toy, so now his position is known. And he swings out the check for the boost. He spots the head of the Opper. That's silent, but he can't land the headshots. Eventually he pulls out the pistol and he gets that kill, but very scary situation for Cutler.
Yeah, and I don't know if you saw at the beginning of the round, but Hayes just dropped a massive spam onto Davey. He does manage to clean him up in the long run as well. He spammed him from the backside of Checkers from CT spawn under Heaven. So that was a nice little bit of damage early in the round, and finally a little bit of life coming out of the CLG side. But this is going to be JDM. He's got to hit these shots, and he misses again. They're going to be able to get in and at least get a bomb plant. So a little bit of a saving grace here for Method as they do get the bomb plant. Now they can play a little bit of a position game against the CLG retake. So it's a 2-on-4, but it's not unwinnable for the Method side. And you can see they're already trying to push in, and there it is. Justin's going to find one, but the trade comes out, and Tarek's going to be there to bail out his teammate as well. So Counterlogic Gaming is going to be able to get another round on the board at their third. But 8 rounds in, and they're still down by 2. 5 rounds for Method on their T side thus far in this match, and we still have 7 more rounds to play in the first half.
Well, there's still a lot of money for CLG to clear out of the bank of Method. 3 members over 10,000 as this round begins, which is pretty scary. So they're able to drop over some AK-47s. I assume Silent's going to go back onto that AWP. Nope, he's going to pick up the AK-47, so perhaps decided to do something a little bit more faster paced as Method. Try and throw the CLG defense off with something quickly executed. Almost looks a bit like a mid-B split, with 4 members heading over towards B. Only 1 in middle right now. That's Davey, just going to try and work his way out of this smoke when he feels the time is right, but it's aggression from CLG. Tarek's got a big job to do, and he can't spray Andy down. The Molotov does finish off Ellie, but now there's Cutler in the vents. He gets taken out as well. The bomb site's free. This is great for Method.
And this is a dangerous round for CLG to lose, too, because this is not going to... I mean, it's going to reset the economy for 3 out of the 5 players. 2 of them are going to be able to buy again after this round is over, but...
I imagine they save here.
Yeah, I was going to say, at this point, they should just fall back and hang on to their rifles.
Yeah, Method gets in far too quick on that take, and actually this is scary part too, because there's one member flanking from behind to kind of eliminate these guns, even if they don't try and go for it, and there it is, Davey. He finds JDM, Silent picks up the remaining 2, a clean sweep. I mean, Nelly falls, but they have 4 members survive, so just more money's going to be built up, and they're back onto anti-eco rounds. CLG can't even... I mean, they can actually... Color could drop a weapon, and Tarek could buy up, so they actually might decide to force buy here, and they are going to.
And Color actually dropped 2 and buys a FAMAS, so it's going to be a really struggle buy here for CLG's side. But again, in that last round, I mean, it was a 3v4, bomb taken away. Full control for the T side and that B bomb site. Don't go for it. Save for the next round. You still got 6 more rounds to play with in this half, and now you're going to put yourself into a position where if they drop this round, it's going to be a potential double save.
Yeah, this is a very, I mean, CLG is sitting on a very, a knife's edge here in this match, whether it's just going to snowball out of the control or not. FNS does spot one. Molotov comes out towards Forklift. No rotations quite yet, but there's a lot of pressure being put on this site. They don't know the extent of it quite yet, but there's JDM. He's isolated by some Molotovs. FNS cannot help him out, and he falls in turn as well. And there's Hayes in middle. Silent knocks him right out. So another good take.
Absolutely astonishing on these takes so far. It's only been 1 round that CLG's been able to stump them on a gun round. I mean, they won pistol, they run the round afterwards, and they've only gotten 1 gun round to their name, and it came in the last round here. Or 2 rounds ago, pardon me. Color is lurking here, going to find Davey, but that's really going to be their only saving grace in this round here. And at this point, Method, with all the money that they have stacked up, they need to go on the chase. Get these guns out of their hands. There's no reason for them to wait, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Justin finds one and spots out Tarek in the back of B, so here comes the rotation, and the doom train is on from the Method side. They're going to try to flash him out, smoke him out, get him out of that backside of that site, and take him down, and they do exactly that. So Method steamrolling their T side.
Yeah, now it's the really scary point where CLG has to save this round, but when they come back from, or when they're done with that eco, they can't really afford to save too much anymore. So they might just be on the cycle of force buys with FAMASes and some utility until they can string together some rounds. So, I mean, Davey's back on the MAC-10 as if he needs to farm even more. He's at, Silent's at 13,000, Davey's at 9,500. They have so much money. He's going to keep going for it, though, and very aggressive plays. And look at this. They choose correct. They go towards the A bomb site. It's only FNS. You're just jump spotting inside the bomb site. This is going to be another easy anti-eco.
Yeah, and I mean, CLG just flat-footed on their CT side. They've got no answer for any of the aggression that's coming out. And here comes the push in towards that A-bomb site. And look at how far away this rotation is in FNS. He's going to try to catch the back of one of these players, but it's Silent to take him down. And honestly, in this point, they shouldn't lose any players. Hayes goes down. He was the first one over by Truck side. They've got 2 more coming in from Truck, but it's smoked off. Nice shots through the smoke, though. Cutler is going to be able to find one that's silent down and out, but JDM going to be your last. Well, nope, Tarek's going to be your last man standing, but Davey again with the MAC-10 finds another one, and now Tarek in this smoke. They're just spamming on through, and Tarek shows himself. Davey cleans it up. That's another $1,200 for him that round. He's at $13,950 plus the money bonus going into the next round, and $16,000 for silent. So they got money for the rest of this half.
Yeah, and in CLG, they're going to have to buy up here. So they do have the M4s. They don't have FAMASs. That money bonus has gotten up big enough with only 3 rounds in a row lost. No kits on the board, but they do have some pretty decent utility. 4 smokes to work with, a bunch of flashbangs and a nade, and we still haven't seen them get aggressive, and I would imagine they're going to bust it out sometime soon because nothing seems to be working for them, and it's going to be another mid to B split for Method. Is the bomb and 3 players over towards that B halls, but there's a boost. Silent takes out 1. There's 1 member left there, and Hayes over at the B side, he's cleaning things up. He gets 2 kills.
So not a bad, not a bad start here. Tarek was the one to pick up the other kill, but it again, still a lot of work for them to do because these 3 players that are alive and JDM pushing through Squeaky. Here's a flashbang around the corner, and that might catch him out. Oh, they spot the shoulder. They line up, though, and JDM punishes them. So this should be an easy round cleanup for CLG, but at what cost is it going to be? If they get their money reset again at this point in the half, that's just rotten luck. Absolutely rotten luck.
Well, not luck, because it all depends on their performance. So it's completely up to them. But
and I mean,
it would be devastating.
Well.
It would be devastating to their half if they get reset here. That would just be heartbreaking because this half would steamroll completely out of their control. Here, if they can salvage this, 6-9, 7-8, they're going to have a shot going into the terrace half, which on this map, I actually think CLG's terrace half is much, much better than the defensive half. So they need to give themselves some kind of a chance moving forward into the second round.
And again, for those of you in chat asking, Davey is just standing in for the Method squad this evening. He is still currently a 3-sub player for the time being. Oh, wow. All right. Little spam there from Ellie. He's going to find a dink on a JDM by Catbox. He's got to be happy to find that one.
Yeah, and this is different from Method. They've had some more faster-paced strategies that are committals to these bomb sites. This time they spread it out. They slow things down, watch for pushes. Haven't found anything, but like you said, good damage on the JDM. Cutler's boosted up over in this A bomb site. I don't think they spotted or heard that whatsoever. They have 1 member close, but I don't think he's aware of it quite yet. And that could be dangerous because you can see it allows rotations down towards highway, more emphasis on middle.
Yeah, and I mean, look at this. They have 3 players that are all watching towards mid. They've only got, well, Tarek in the backside, but there it is. JDM gets finished off with a touchdown grenade from Ellie. And that was all pretty much Ellie's damage being done there. Hayes down to 1 HP in Vents, but he's got the bomb. And that's kind of a nice find for the CLG side. As you can see, a Molotov's going to follow that frag up. And that's going to hold him off it for a little bit longer. And you can see 30 seconds left on the clock. So it's still not a lot of time, and they got to move, and FNS is going to find one, but Justin and Toy answer back. Coming around from mid is going to be Tarek, who finds one, tapping away. He's going to find a second one as well, and now it's down to Justin and a 1v2 with only 20 seconds.
Yeah, this round's pretty much over right now. Justin's just got to go hunting for the frag. Can't wait to slow down. He does take out Tarek. That was a silly one I want to take, and now it's just Hayes with 1 HP, but no time on the clock. Hayes is just going to run, knowing no matter what happens, the bomb cannot get planted in time, so a little bit of a heartbreak there for Method. A good round, though. Justin's going to plant the bomb just to get the extra 300, but CLG just hanging on by a thread still. Their economy still isn't strong, so they've got to be careful. They're still at danger of being reset as soon as they lose a round, and there's plenty of money on the Method side moving forward.
Right you are, Moses. And again, we're going to see this round. It's the 14th, second to last round of this first half, and you can see Davey still top fragging in the server. He's almost been caught up to by Silent. Both of them having pretty solid starts to this matchup. 15 frags for Davey, 12 frags for Silent. The rest of the team a little bit behind. Toy, he's been a little bit lackluster. They're just going to push through this Molotov up on boost, and that's going to catch Hayes down. Davey's going to be able to get the trade kill onto Cutler as well, so a 2-for-1 trade in middle, and that is going to pay dividends for him in the long run. As you can see, JDM smoked off all the way over a quad. He's not going to be able to find anything, and now Method with a lot of time to play with and a man advantage to work with as well.
Oh, look at this rotation back to the B bomb site for Method as well. They have an open site if they just do it, but they don't commit to it. Either way, Silent just drops FNS just so quickly. So now this defense is completely split. No matter, Method, all they have to do right now is just group up and hit a bomb site. And if JDM is he's going to have a tall task on his hand. There's Molotovs, there's nades, there's flashbangs on the Method side. So he's got to get this initial pick and just run with it. And he does. He finds one. He's still alive. They haven't Molotov. Oh, a second one. Peeks over towards mid. Can't get the third one. Nade lands right at his feet. He's so incredibly low. And there's Toy to finally finish him off. But he did his job. He puts Tarek into a 1-on-2. Even without a kit, Tarek's got a chance here.
He's not going to be able to find the damage onto Ellie that he was looking for. Throws the flashbang around the corner. He's going to spot Toy out. He's not going to be able to find him. Does manage to isolate a 1v1, and that bomb isn't planted for Toy, but he's going to go for the peek, and Tarek, oh, he loses the battle in the long run. Toy coming up huge. Big 2 frags on the round for him, as he was the bottom fragger in the server at the start of that round, but coming up big when he needs to, and Method is going to be able to pick up that round, and that, again, like you said, Moses, resets that money, and they are going to have an abysmal buy for the final round of the first half, talking about CLG.
Yeah, I mean, 4, what is it, 3.57s, a CZ, and a Deagle, it's not strong at all, and this is around, I mean, very light utility. They just use one of their 2 smokes now. One of their only Molotov just gets used now, so it's going to have to be aggression up mid. That's Hayes, and he finds the bomb. Ellie not prepared for it whatsoever. In this spread out defense, I mean, these eco kills. This is what that spread out default is designed to protect against, and it's not working.
And Toy is able to find one while he harasses over by that squeaky door. That's going to be FNS down, but you can see Hayes already rotating over to join his comrade. Molotov out over boost, flashbang to follow. Silent going to go take a peek. Not going to find anything, but Toy still over by Squeaky. That bomb perched by A-Main. Ready to get pushed on in there. Molotov comes out from boost, and now Hayes, he's aware that there's going to be a player up in this area. And that's going to be Silent to try to hold this down, but the man advantage still going that way. And there's the push in. Cutler not going to be able to find the damage that he's looking for as Toy survives with 2 HP, and it's evened up on 3v3.
Yeah, and Hayes is going to try and rotate into this bomb site. Flashes in front of Redbox, can't grab the angle quick enough. Justin beats him to it, drops him with a nice headshot. Tarek with this Deagle. The big danger is JDM on a flank. He's got an AK-47, and he's going to meet up with Silent, who has an AWP, and he just turns to watch it right now. This might be the saving grace for Method in this round, but he misses the shot. JDM still with the chance.
I thought Silent was a little bit lower than that, but Silent is going to be able to hang on. Tarek hits a nice 1 dig, and it's going to be Toy with 2 HP to clutch it out in the 2v1, and that Molotov is going to roast him. Good job from CLG on the retake, a force up, and somehow they managed to walk away with the win.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually a good ending to this half for CLG. You know, they get beat up in the middle portion of that, but to win 3 rounds there at the end, and especially that last one with that kind of a weak bye that they had, that gives them a much better opportunity. 6 rounds, they can work with that moving forward. And Method, the big question is, I mean, this is where new teams kind of struggle, is that coordination on CT side. How do your comms work? How do you know when to rotate with new players? So this is a real chance here for CLG, I mean, to stave off disaster.
Disaster is exactly what I would classify that as. Is, you know, we talked about it in the pregame a little bit that CLG, they shouldn't be losing to teams like Method. Not that Method's a bad team by any stretch of the imagination, but they're not on the same level that we expect CLG to be playing at. And right now at a 9-6 half, Method, that was a pretty stellar terrorist side. Now, obviously, they could have gotten a little bit more out of that, but you know, 9 rounds on your T side of cash, that's not a bad showing at all.
No, I mean, that's great for Method, and it was all Davey. I mean, Davey really got him started. He kind of waned off as the half wore on, but that start he had where he just, I mean, that first gun round, you know, streaming into the bomb site, dropping 3 players within like 2 seconds, he really got him rolling there and got him out to a big lead that they could just coast on. So very impressive stuff from the stand-in, and he puts them in a great position to win this match outright.
So we'll have to see how Method capitalizes on their 3-round lead going into the second half. It's going to be a tall order because CLG, they're no slouches, especially when it comes to the terrorist side. It's like you said, they like to play 2 T-sides on this map. Well, they should be pretty seasoned coming into this second half then. That
was actually one of the more reserved CT sides I've seen out of them on cash. Normally,
I agree.
And normally they're pushing over in B bomb site, you know, 2 or 3 times per half. They do a lot more aggression in the doorway, so perhaps just trying to get a little bit more experience playing passively on this map, trying to get comfortable with it, and they just got beat up by Method. That was a good half out of them for sure. But JDM's going to have an opportunity to go nuts here with this mid boost to try and pick some things off, alleviate some pressure, because they kind of, I mean, with the way the money worked out in the first half for CLG, he just wasn't able to have an op frequently enough. I don't even think we saw it really after that first gun round that he had it. So. No. I mean, they need to stabilize that economy. They need to make sure that gets into his hands on this terror side so he can have a bigger impact on the match.
Right, and you can see exactly where he's at. I mean, he's top fragging for his team, but predominantly most of those frags came from the AK-47 that he salvaged. You know, it's just one of those kind of things. His rifles were a little bit stronger than anything else, and here you go, Method going to be very aggressive in the pistol round, pushing in B. And this is something that we didn't see from CLG in that first half. This is a pistol round that they like to run, actually.
Yeah, and CLG, I mean, they got the info. They know they pushed up, and they're just going to rush right into this B bomb site. They have them cornered in the sunroom, and they've got to come back to help the bomb get there, but it doesn't even matter. FNS and Cutler and Hayes even cleaning them out. Now they push all the way towards CT spawn. Ellie's up top. He's got a lot of work to do, but they push past him. They're fighting with Davey, who's rotating from the A bomb site. He does grab a kill, but so many advanced positions for these CLG members. This is going to be a brutal retake.
Decoy grenade, that's going to bait JDM to turn, and that's going to capitalize for Davey. He's going to be able to find another kill. It's down to a 3v3. And 2v3 now is the only kit is going to be on Ellie. He's gotten himself up into towards the site. He's going to do some good damage over there onto Cutler. He's got to find this kill. And unfortunately, he's not going to be able to. And then Tarek going to tap away Davey. So counter logic, they've got an opportunity to even things up onto a 9-9 scoreline before the first gun round comes out. But it's still an uphill battle for him because this anti-eco could come out and could be very strong from Method. Who knows?
Yeah, and that's both pistol rounds won for CLG in this matchup. So nice second half opening. There's going to be some upgraded pistols onto the Method side, but no investment into armor. And I mean, you look at the set of CLG, this is full just SMG anti-eco mode. There's no armor on these players. Method, they need to get some picks long range with that Deagle from Davey, some of these P250s. Otherwise, those P90s are just going to chew them up.
And there's the opening, though. And some great damage being dealt, though. Hayes is going to be down to 4 HP. JDM's down to 5 HP, so they might be able to clean up a couple of these kills, but Tarek's going to capitalize on the one. JDM does go down, though. And look at this. Toy trying to get himself out of A main. He's not going to be able to find the right route, and it's going to be all on silent with the Desert Eagle over here in the A bomb site. Bomb rotating all the way back to B, and flank coming up from Catwalk. I'm sure Silent hears this push coming in from behind him, but they're not clearing the corners just yet, and he's still right around here, and look at this play from Silent. Unfortunately, Cutler going to just shoulder peek out just enough to see him. Takes him down with a nice headshot through the wall, and that will be an 8th round now for CLG as they keep themselves alive in this matchup, and Method don't really find what they're looking for on that anti-eco.
Yeah, and much the same here. So they're kind of just going forward, and they want to have the best buy possible in that 4th round with that strong terrorist half. They feel confident if they can get started on the right foot into the gun rounds, they're going to be okay move in this matchup. And 3 SMG still. I mean, Cutler rebuys a MAC-10, so he's going to try and go farming just a little bit. He's going to take that over towards the door. Look at this aggression at A-main. Here comes the pop flash. JDM, he doesn't get blind whatsoever. He sprays on the first one, the second one. Even the third one swings out a little bit late. He gets a 4th so quickly. Now he pulls out the Glock, but can't get the ace. Cutler's going to clean it out. Good round from JDM protecting against that push.
He crouched behind that box at the perfect time. He couldn't have planned that or timed that any better. He crouches right when that pop flash goes off, and then just cleans house. So nice job there from JDM with that P90 over by A main to stave off any kind of an anti-eco rush from the from the CT side of Method. And now we're going to get into our first gun round. You can see Silent's got the AWP. JDM still on a MAC-10. Well, drops it for the MP7, but still not much of an upgrade over what he had before. And looks like CLG going to be bidding for a little bit of mid-control as they do throw the smoke wall out, the flashbang to follow, and they're going to push on out here as that's going to be JDM and Cutler trying to make something happen. It looks like it's gearing up to be a mid-B split.
Yeah, very patient. There's Silent. He misses the first shot. It was a free kill, basically. FNS just swings, no nades, and they trade that off. So the entry into the B bomb site is real. And Davey and Justin don't even look like they want to go for it. They look like the call's to save already, and it is. Ellie's even running away. So those 2 kills alone, CLG has the round 1. JDM, he's just watching the flank.
He wants to get a rifle here.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's got a couple to work with in the B bomb site. There's even an op down for him, so that's a free op. There's one way to get an op into his hands in the second half is just to pick up the one that was dropped. So I assume he's going to go salvage that. He's just waiting to see if they're going to go for it by coming through the vents. In fact, I would prefer him to do that instead of chasing out these frags right now.
I agree, 100%. You can see he's actually going to go back to mid. He does pick up a kill from that. Cutler does pick up the op, but that's an AK-47 that he dropped in order to pick that up, so a much heavier investment in order to do so. But now JDM picks up the M4 off of that fallen CT side, and you can see Davey's actually going to find Tarek exiting towards B. Cutler with the op takes him down, and that's going to be Justin to try to salvage this M4. And he does get Cutler down. He might be able to swing and gets a nice headshot there to end out the round. And making it very expensive now for the CLG side. So not bad from Justin. 3 frags at the end of that round. And forcing up the rebuys here. But you can see Hayes already over 10,000 going into the 5th round of this second half.
Yeah, that actually may seem like a small detail that he's able to do that, but I mean, now you look at Hayes, who's over 10K, now he's down at 5,600, the rest of his teammates 3,100, 4,300, 15 and 1,100. So, getting those kills, preventing that AWP from being salvaged, that costs a lot of money for CLG into this round. It's going to be much the same strat, heavy towards the B bomb site. This time, Method's got it stacked with 4 players. This could be scary for CLG.
And there's the flashbang out. They're going to go for the push-in, and FNS is going to be able to line up a couple, but that's going to be Justin with the spray down. Oh, he almost lines up 2 more, but Cutler's there to save his teammate, and it's all on Davey to rotate in towards this B bomb site. But look at how low 3 of these players are. They're all one-shottable with a Desert Eagle if Davey can line it up.
Yeah, but CLG just waiting for any kind of aggression from Davey right now. They're just playing it so patiently. He drops out. They might have heard that
Gets
footstep.
the M4. Yeah, he's got a rifle to work with, though.
I think Hayes heard that. So, you see them. He's just watching for him to push up the B bomb site. The other 3 are going to go over towards A. But you're right. I mean, if he gets a lucky spray down, this could be a really great 1-on-4 to win for Davey. It's definitely in the realm of possibility with 3 members basically 1 bullet away from death. He's going to get caught out in the open, though, and Cutler cleans up. He doesn't even land 1 bullet. So,
that's unfortunate.
Almost for Davey.
He played that right. I mean, he salvaged the M4. He was able to rotate back towards A, maybe just not anticipating that push was going to be coming in from A main so quickly once he got there. But if he was able to line up that spray down, he could have gotten 3 frags very, very quickly, and that would have put Hayes in a very difficult spot because he was sitting on like 4 HP by the end of that round. So, good job from CLG recovering that round. Oh, no, that nade!
Oh, it doesn't even really do any damage.
Yeah, but his spam did. Hayes down to 72.
Yeah, this is much more slower pace from CLG. They don't go for that mid-B split play. They know there's a lot of guns out. Silent's got the AWP. He's guarding A bomb site. So they do have that 2 players, 1 in B, 1 in A, and 3 over towards mid. This is a pretty solid crossfire setup. And now with Justin and Ellie in perfect position underneath the boost box and over towards vents, that's going to rotate Davey back towards A. So solid so far. We'll have to see how CLG can test and find the information of how this setup is working.
And Toy basically playing solo over at the B-bomb site, but this is still, he's got a fast rotation in from Vince from Ellie's side. But again, Ellie's been kind of quiet this matchup. He's 7-14, and Toy is 10-14. So honestly, if I'm looking at the scoreboard and trying to figure out where I want to go where the players that are playing the least fraggy are, it's going to be the B-bomb site.
Here comes the execute. Silent's going to have a lot of work to do. He didn't get blinded by a pop flash last time. This time he does. He's forced to grab a different angle. There is a small crack in that smoke, but he can't do anything. Justin bails him out with the first kill. They haven't cleaned him out. There's Davey. Grabs a second one. All of a sudden, this hit from CLG much less impressive. And there's Silent coming through the smoke. Grabs another one. 4-on-2 now. CLG with nowhere to go. They've got to come through smokes if they want to make anything happen. That's what JDM's doing. He grabs 2, but he can't get away from Ellie. He rotates just in time, but that was looking scary from JDM. He was heating up.
He definitely was, and that's a scary player to have heat up at this point in the matchup, especially when it's so close. In CLG, they're able to put an AWP in his hands once again this round. He's got 59-50, so he'll have a relatively healthy buy if he goes for the AWP small armor and then a handful of grenades. You can see that's exactly what he's going to do. So he's got a smoke and a flash, so this is a very healthy buy from the CLG side. But again, that money starting to dwindle down a little bit.
Yeah, I think get a plant this round, they're going to be okay. If they don't get a plant, they'll be able to force buy if they choose to, but it would be a little bit sketchy. And this might be the play that Tarek, one place he likes to make at A main is just rushing over towards Forklift directly through the smoke, and this looks like it might be exactly that. He's going to pop flash himself through. He's going to lead the way. He goes for a boost. He knows he's been boosted. He can't get the kill, though. That's Davey. He chimes in on 1. There goes Justin inside the bomb site. Davey's still up there. Finally gets cleaned out by Hayes, but 1 member left over in quad playing with the fire. Cutler hunts him down. Now the bomb site in the control of CLG. Yeah,
and this is a huge round to flip on its head right now. As Method, they're down to a 2v4, and the save has been called. So Method going to give up the 12th round now to counter Logic Gaming. And tough spot for them to be in now because that's going to reset their money. So they're going to be right back onto an eco round, hopefully with 2 rifles to boot. But it's going to be a very difficult situation for them to be in. You can already see that they're just looking over towards that terrorist spawn. Hayes going to be working his way down there as well as JDM. They've got 3 players now filtering over towards this terrorist spawn, and Hayes is going to meet his demise, but that gives up the position that Silent had, and he's going to be looking for another one here in just a moment, but that's going to be FNS to try to push in. He's trying to hold on to this rifle. Pop flash might come over the top. There it is. Nice shot from Silent. He's looking for another one, but his teammate's too far away, and he might not get this, but there it is. Toy actually takes them both down, so all for naught. And look at the money now on the CLG side. JDM with 35-50 and no AWP. They're going to throw one over, but it's going to be a force-up.
Yeah, I mean, CLG really didn't have the economy to go for those chases, and that's just brutal. Much like earlier in the half, they lost 4 members chasing that down, so a bunch of rebuys. Now their economy is just equally precarious right now. That's one way for Method to get right back in this, if they can string a couple together, because this is a pretty solid buy out of Method. Cutler is misreading the situation completely with the MAC-10. He's going up against an AWP and Thomas and a couple M4s, so, I mean, if CLG gets reset here, Method's right back in this game.
Well, absolutely. We could see it all tied up once again here very, very shortly. That's a good grenade in towards a main. That finds a tremendous amount of damage, but there it is. Your play from Tarek pushing in towards Forklift immediately in the beginning of that round, and now Cutler's going to come under fire. That MAC-10, though, is going to get the job done as he finds 2 frags with it before Tarek falls. So, again, we're going to see another very difficult retake from the CT side. As Toy on the flank, he's going to come under fire from FNS, and he loses that battle, and it's all on Ellie to try to hang on to an AK. So
yeah,
that round got flipped, turned upside down.
All right, calm down, Fresh Prince.
I'd like to take a minute, just sit right there, tell you about what happened to Method in bomb site A.
I just can't even do it anymore.
I don't know where I was going with that one.
I mean, this is just a completely different CLG team from that first half. I mean, this is just kind of the difference between their T side and their CT side. But, I mean, they're just swarming these bomb sites, and Method can't find any of these kills early on. And
no, not at all.
It's fortunate that they actually survived with 4 people alive, because that chase where they actually lost 4 people at the end of that other round was put them in a very tough spot. So if they lose too many people, then they're still in a tough economical situation. But either way, now they finally seems like they've stabilized it a bit, and it is going to be a save this time for Method.
So there you go. They're going to be on just an AK on the back of Ellie. He does have a small arm to work with as well, but he is not performing as well as he probably would like to be, obviously. I mean, 10-3 and 15, he's not really pulling his weight as much as possible. So, again, this is the right situation for Cutler to have that MAC-10 in, because no head armor to work with against any of the 5 players. So this is going to be really, really difficult for the Method side. You can see Davey trying to take a peek, but that squeaky door is going to open up here momentarily, and that's going to be Cutler to lead that charge.
But they're going to run into another stack at this A bomb site, and this has been dangerous for him in the past. Davey, I don't know if he got spotted as he's sneaking up here, but here comes a flashbang into A main. Davey's going to get the first kill. He gets a second one as well. Huge play from Davey. Grabs 2 kills initially. They've even gotten JDM out of the door, so it's a 2-on-5 now. Ellie chimes in on a Cutler, and FNS is just saying, what the hell, guys? I don't know what just happened, but I'm in a lot of trouble.
Well, they walked right into that stack, and that beautiful pop flash worked better for Silent than it did for Davey than it did for anybody else. But FNS is going to even things back up onto a 3v1. He's got to go 1v5 in order to close this one out. And Toy going to take a little bit of a harassment peek there, spots his head over the top, and this nade is going to take him down. So that's going to be a 3rd kill now for FNS, and he's got 1 more up top. But that's Ellie. He's not going to lose that battle. And Method, they steal away an eco round, and let's see what the money looks like on CLG's side. They should have another buy here, but this is going to be their last one before a reset.
Yeah, this is where it comes down that they lost. They've lost 8 weapons chasing saving CT players in this half so far, and this is where that really comes into play. It's a long, slow play, but a double op setup now for Method. They get it basically for free. So Justin has one. Silent's going to have one. They're going to go to the bomb sites, and actually, they're going to take it over towards mid and over towards the A bomb site. It's going to be 3-man aggression out towards the B bomb site. Ellie and Toy pushing up immediately. Hayes hears this, and he just tucks himself into a corner to see what's going to happen, see if he can catch him off guard, because they're running this whole way. He knows this is coming, but he can't get the kill anyways. Toy checks it. The rest of his team has responded and turned around, but scary spot for CLG to be in once again.
Hayes pushing on in towards mid-main. He's going to find the opening kill in that area, but that flashbang is not going to catch Cutler enough. He does manage to trade that, so it's going to be a 2-on-3, and the last 2 remaining for the CT side both have ops. Now, I want to touch on something in the last round. One of the big things that I noticed was actually there was a double up set up there on the Terror side as well. JDM and Tarek both had it, and they both got picked off very, very early, one by Squeaky and one by A main, so that kind of might have played a factor into why they dropped that round, because they were trying to play those angle games, and that flashbang was just too perfect and too well timed, and it ends up costing them in the long run.
Yeah, now Justin and Silent's on this huge flank. He's going to throw a pop flash out. He's going to try and peek out towards quad. They spot him though. One's boosted up, so they know at least 2 are there. Actually, I believe all 3 are there. JDM gets that pick off, and JDM's in the bomb site. He grabs those last 2, a 3 kill for him on the round, 14-11 now. So CLG, despite being in a couple sticky situations throughout this half, they've kind of come through the most difficult part. And you can see Method's going to be on another eco around here at 11-14, unless they decide to force buy, unless they want to take the gamble and just try and prevent, any possibility of overtime. But I think they're just going to upgrade some pistols and play for the tie.
don't really have too much of a choice in this situation with the money situation that they're in. I'm going to keep saying situation over and over because that seems like the right thing to do.
I just want to muse a little bit about that round because Method, I mean, not a bad idea to have that B aggression with the 2 ops, but like why, I'm just confused as to why they were just running the whole way as if they thought it was going to be an A hit. It seemed like they were trying to catch a fast flank, but there was no pressure on the A bomb site. So CLG was basically able to ambush him around red box and mid. Just a little interesting that they just threw caution to the wind and just kind of sprinted that flank.
Yeah, and I'm in agreement with you on that as well. And they actually double peek over here at B. They might be able to sneak a little bit of a peek and try to take FNS down, but that hit looks like, again, it's going to be coming over mid and towards the A bomb site. They do manage to dink him, and look at this, Davey! He's going to push in, JDM high! That's the bomb down as well, and oh, Davey just barely doesn't get out of that in time. Silent did manage to take down FNS, so we are on a 3 versus 3. They haven't salvaged any rifles just yet here on the CT side of Method, but they are going to put themselves into a position where they could potentially steal away another eco round victory. They did it with no armor the last time. Why the hell is this going to be any different?
Yeah, and Ellie and Toy have a little bit of a crossfire setup. Ellie's spotting this box so they won't check for Toy, and actually that's where the bomb's going. This could be detrimental. If Ellie's able to land a shot, even just do any damage without a kill, distract the attention for Toy to pounce. It's a lot of faith, but it doesn't matter. Hayes checks it, just spams the box. There's a nice shot from Ellie, cleans out Hayes. 2-on-2 now as they enter the site. Those shots through the smoke aren't going to land. But you see Justin rotating over. This is a round they got to go for. If they could pull a miracle out here, that would be huge for Method.
Yeah, because that's going to reset that money on the CLG side once again, and there's the flashbang up to the top. That's not going to blind Justin, so they're going to have a relatively decent peak going on here. You can see Tarek, he's looking for the push in through the smoke, but Ellie sneaks by. Unfortunately, Cutler is savvy to it and takes him down, so that will be a 15th round now for CLG, as they are on match point. But Method, I mean, even if Method lose this matchup, you got to give them credit where credit's due. That 9-6 T-side half, Davey's stepping in, doing a sensational job. He's 24-19 right now, so he's only +5 on the match, but so is JDM on the other side. So the frags from both sides, relatively even. It's just that CLG on their terrorist side are winning these battles in more of a definitive fashion. But Method, with a stand-in, doing a sensational job against one of the top teams in North America. I give them props.
Yeah, and it's just that thing. Well, I mean, once you switch over to the CT side, not only, oh, look at Davey pushing through the smoke. He gets caught by Tarek. Tarek's not going to fall for that one. Opening kill goes his way. More aggression over towards B. This time, Method and Toy and Silent aren't going to find any resistance whatsoever, and Toy's going to slow flank just a bit. But CLG has slowed things down. It looks like JDM wants to appear. They've got to be careful. Toy's running the corner right now. They're going to hit into this A bomb site. Any resistance is going to allow Toy to be hugely effective. But this A bomb site is under a lot of pressure.
Yeah, as all 5 members of CLG barrel on in, FNS is going to find first blood onto Ellie. Silent answers back, but Justin goes down, and it's all on Toy in a 4v1. He's going to get peeked out by JDM. He wins that battle, but he's got a lot more work ahead of him, and that pop flash is going to hurt the retinas just a little bit. He's still trying to find something. Hayes picks up the off now, and we'll see whether or not he can land any shots as he is over by the truck side. Smoke grenade, though, so he's going to be able to cordon off that truck area. Flashbang comes out from Cutler. They're going to try to spam the smoke. He's going to win the battle against FNS swinging out, so he's isolating these 1v1s, and he's doing it relatively well so far, but that bomb is too far ticked. He doesn't have nearly enough time, and they set up the crossfire. So 16-11 is going to be your final score in this one. CLG do manage to take this, but again, like I said, definitely kudos to Method for stepping up in a big way, losing this one 16-11, but they did a pretty damn good job.
Yeah, that T side was really, I mean, the way the second half went, because you never really felt like Method was going to string rounds together. So, I mean, it seemed like a really good first half out of them, which it was, but like, I almost feel like that was more of like just a bad defense from CLG. I think they just played a little bit poorly, and I mean, there were so many rounds that Method had an opportunity in that second half to get a hold on the match, you know, in terms of the economy. We saw so many times CLG just come to the brink of being completely broke with one last buy in their pocket, and they win that round pretty cleanly, and it just builds back up. So Method probably let that one slip out of their fingers just a little bit, but it was a good recovery from CLG in that second half. That's a match, I mean, that was a match that CLG needed to win. They were sitting down at the 5th seed before that. They're staying at the 5th seed, but they're 4-1 now instead of 3-1. So, I mean, they have one of the better winning percentages in the league as they catch up on matches played, but still, enemies right above them at 5-4. Then there's Team Liquid at 5-1, Cloud9 5-1. So basically, they're right in line with those two guys.
All right, so that's going to do it for our third match of the evening. We've got one more to bring you guys tonight, And that should be coming up very, very soon. That's going to be Luminosity facing off against Complexity. So we're just going to take a real quick break, and we'll be back in just a few minutes, guys. So don't go anywhere. Complexity versus Luminosity coming up next.